NFL is 5 weeks in.
Woo.
We have seen a lot of teams that are supposed to be really good, 49ers, absolutely collapse. And on some teams that were supposed to be bad, Commanders, be at the top of the division at 4-1. Yeah. So we're going to have 2 of these videos. This is the first one. Who's the worst team in the NFL? Everyone has to say one team, then you can kind of make your point and argue whatever the you want to do, and then we'll do who's the best team in the NFL. Mike, you're always extremely logical in all your opinions.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to start with you. Who is the worst team in the NFL, and why are you picking the Rams?
Well, I'm definitely not picking the Rams. Okay. And you talked about all these teams that are supposed to be good ended up being bad. All these teams that are bad ended up being good. Let's talk about the team that was supposed to be bad and end up maybe worse than what we thought they were going to be. And it's not the Patriots, surprisingly. It's the Panthers.
Whoa.
The Panthers are, by and large, the worst team in the NFL. But let's go around the table, and I'll give you my reason after.
Okay.
After.
Yeah, well, I want to hear.
Or unless you want me to give it to you right now.
I want to hear your reason. Let's start with your reason.
All right, well, my reason for that is going to mainly be focused on their defense. Their defense is, I believe, second worst in the league. They give up 33 points to opposing teams on average, which is a fuck ton.
Great.
Yeah.
A fuck ton. And highlighted by that is opponents score 87% of the time. They score a touchdown 87% of the time they're in the red zone, which is, again, the worst stat in the NFL for that. Besides their one game against the Raiders where Andy Dalton came back and he was looking like, oh, hey, they might be a team. Their offense is abysmal. They average 16.6 points per game, which is the third worst in the NFL. They are terrible all around, and I don't think that there is any hope for them to get better for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Bang.
Woo. The Panthers. What a crazy thing. Unfortunately, this isn't like trying to be mean or anything. I looked hard and long at this.
Long and hard.
Long and hard, hard and long. I looked at the rest of the season too, and who I think will be the worst team also is the Jacksonville Jaguars, unfortunately.
None of us are Jaguars fans.
No, you're a Jaguars fan.
I'm not a Jaguars fan. I'm a Steelers fan. How dare you say that?
Closeted Jaguars fan.
How dare you say that?
You're a Jaguars fan as much as you're a Georgia fan.
I'm not a
That
Georgia
was a great, absolutely perfect side by side.
Yeah, you're a Georgia fan.
Trevor Lawrence top 5.
Do you want? We're not gonna have the Trevor Lawrence conversation.
And what's the nicknames you have for him again?
It's not my nicknames. This is what he was prophesized at birth, actually.
That's
birth.
The prince, the king, the chosen one. You can pick from. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, I just think this team is completely in shambles. They have no identity, whatever it is on offense, the running game, the passing game. They got lucky last week at home because they scored a bunch of points. Trevor Lawrence finally looked decent, and they played a backup Joe Flacco and without Jonathan Taylor on the court. Like, it was just one of those games, and they still only won by game-winning field goal. So I just think this team, I actually can see the Panthers starting to get a little better. They just kind of need all back. They actually played the Bengals well, and they played the Raiders well. I just think
still lost.
I mean, yeah, but you play the if the Bengals aren't great either. I just think that personally, the way also who Jackson wants to play, I just think they're going to have a tough time, and I just think I don't know what, I thought their defense was good. I thought their offense was good. I thought ETN was good. They're not even playing him. I don't even know what's going on over there, so I think they're just in shambles.
Mario?
I think overall, worst team by far, if you're just looking at a whole season as a picture, is the Panthers. But I will say currently, right now, head-to-head, would I take the Dolphins so much more confidently over the Panthers, head-to-head if they played this week? No, because Tyler Huntley looks terrible. So I'm going to go with the team that I think currently is just playing the worst in the NFL, and that's the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I love that. I was going to say that.
I've never seen an offense operate
so bad as they do.
So just discombobulated, unorganized, and just Will Levis is calling plays for this team. That's the only way I can logically come to a conclusion about the offensive decisions that Deshaun Watson's making.
You can't even rationalize that.
No, I mean, it's just this team.
You see they tried to go for it on 4th down
and he's walked off the field.
Yeah.
No,
you see one of the sexual allegation cases got dropped today?
Yeah, I saw that. The 4th down thing actually was actually the right thing to do, because if he walked in the huddle, they would have had 12 men, and he was yelling at his coach to get the guy out, and the guy wouldn't leave. And,
so it was just
and they were going to get a delayed game.
Oh, so Deshaun's smart.
That actually wasn't. Okay. I saw someone defend.
So that was his one play of the game. That was his play of the game.
That was his play of the game. This defense too, you can tell, they're just on the field so often that there's not really much they can do. Yeah, Myles Garrett individually is great. Denzel Ward, he can be good situationally, but there's really not much these guys can do right now. I feel like they're kind of just a lost team. Deshaun's lost the locker room. You can just kind of see it on
everything. Yeah.
So, I mean,
I like that take.
yeah, I would go Cleveland Browns right now.
Yeah, so I'd say if you're looking at the entire NFL season so far, the Panthers, they have the largest points differential of it by far of any team. They're minus 82. The next closest is minus 53. So they're by far the worst team. But those are 3 games with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So currently with Andy Dalton, I don't think they are actually the worst team. They've been the worst team so far.
Yeah.
The answer is the Dolphins. It is. The Dolphins are the next team at minus 53. Yeah. Their defense is miserable, and they have the
Browns versus Dolphins,
and they have the lowest ranked offense in the entire NFL for the entire season, including when Tua was playing. Yeah. So, this Dolphins team is absolute poverty. I think, they're in a really interesting spot if they want to push Tua to come back, or if you kind of want to, because
tank the season.
Well, he's saying he wants to play.
Yeah,
he's saying he wants to play. I wasn't like joking. He's saying he wants to.
The Dolphins organization said timetable could be after week 8. So
no. Like they're planning on him playing. He's planning on him playing as well. But they might have one win by then. I think the organization needs to make a serious decision as to whether or not they want to keep Tua, because their offense with Tua when he's healthy, one of the most electric in college or in NFL by far. It's like a college offense essentially the way they run that shit.
So explosive.
With you have A-Chain, multiple running backs with Mostert, and then you got Waddle and Tyreek just doing their thing. All those receivers are absolutely pissed off right now. Tyreek is pretty frustrated on the sideline, CD-esque, you would say, seeing what he's talking to Dak about. But I wanted to mention 2 other teams. The Titans are one that, because they've had a bye, the points differential doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
And they've kind of patched some of the holes with starting different quarterbacks in different spots. But Will Levis, I think, is probably their guy moving forward.
Rough.
I don't think they stick with the backup. They kind of I don't know. They're going back and forth with it, but when Will Levis is on this Titans team, they're not going to score any points. They've scored 79 points this entire year. It's one of the lowest in all of football. The only team, let me pull this up, that has less points than them is the Chargers. But the Chargers have also had a bye.
Yeah, both of them
had a bye. And then
because the week prior to that, they weren't anywhere near the bottom. They were middle of the pack.
Yeah. But, I mean, a lot of these teams have a fuckload more points. But, I mean, they're still negative on the points differential. I don't like the Titans at all. And then I do have to also kind of parrot the Jaguars on that. I agree. They do not look good. Their defense is really bad.
Yeah, it's weird.
And so the one thing I do want to mention about Trevor, last game was probably one of his best games he's had in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
He was, I think, 79% completion, threw for over, I think it was 340 yards or something, and multiple touchdowns. Had one bad pick where he threw into triple coverage. But it was also the only game he wasn't pressured like crazy.
Yeah.
It was the best blocking they've had. And when he had a pocket, he looked like actually the quarterback that he looked like. So
quarterback.
This is kind of what we've been saying about all these quarterbacks when they get drafted. One, they don't have offensive lines. We're like, dude, Caleb's running for his fucking life out there. You look at Joe Burrow when he first entered the league, got hurt because of it. This Jaguars team got moved a lot of pieces, paid a lot of people on 1-year deals, did well for the playoffs. Last year, a lot of players left the team, a lot of change around the offensive line. There's 2 young guys playing on their line right now, and they're not very good. They blocked really well last week against I don't really know what stats you could put for the Colts defense. But when they had a pocket, he was throwing the ball well, and they were scoring points. Their defense, though, still is letting up too many points.
Yeah.
So if we had to pick right now, I know we all gave our kind of take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Consensus kind of, is there a team you think we could agree on currently is the worst team in the NFL? Not
Real
so
quick,
far.
I know we hate doing this, but is the Bengals not even a thought?
No.
I was waiting for someone to bring up the Bengals because they're the one team this year that their record is not good. Every game they've played,
they only have a 5-point differential, by the way.
I'm going to say, every game they've played, they should have won the game.
Down to a wire.
No, from week 1 to last week, you could, and it's not saying they should have won, that was a BS call or whatever. Pretty much, it comes down to one drive or one play. Every game this year that they've lost, I don't think they're as good as people rated them preseason in terms of do I think they're a real Super Bowl
team to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's barred out of your mind.
Yeah.
But that's the one team who I think you'll see, especially the second half of the season. They're not going to end anything crazy. They'll probably end with 8 wins, but that's a team there's no way you would convince me that the Browns, the Dolphins, the Panthers go out and beat this Bengals.
Well, the
team. Or
Bengals-
the Titans.
That's just the Bengals defense. Is
I was
going
gonna
to
say,
that's
that-
the thing that makes them so unbelievably bad.
They've given up the second most points in all of the NFL. The only team that's given up more points is the Panthers.
Yeah.
But their offense is tied for the third most points scored.
Yeah.
So it's the most parallel, or I mean,
Yeah.
opposite
Yeah.
Polar.
team. Yeah.
No, I
they're
mean
just
their
on
defense
completely
is
different
killer.
roads.
That's why they won't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. But
But-
yeah, I guess maybe could we land on, because I mentioned a few times, the Panthers
Yeah.
for the season are the worst.
No.
Maybe lean Dolphins.
I think
right now.
the fact that no one said this, I mean, I'm going to say at the end of the season, the Patriots, they have nothing.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Absolutely nothing.
Patriots
And the
were in my
division they're going to have to
contention.
play, all of them are going to, like, Tua's going to come back, in my opinion. Dolphins are going to kill the Patriots.
Even if
Bills
he doesn't
are gonna
come
be
back, they lost to the Dolphins with Tyler
Exactly.
Huntley.
Bills are going to sweep them. Jets are going to sweep them. There's no way they're going to score on the Jets, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how they have one win, and
I don't know.
like, how is it possible? Their
I
only
don't
win
think-
is against the Bengals.
We
in
might
week
not
one.
land on
Yeah.
a consensus here then. But there's a lot of f***ing bad teams this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's
There's so
a
many.
lot of
It's
bad
never like
teams.
this bad. Where like so many teams have one win, like 7
No.
teams or whatever it is.
I think if there is one team you'd bet on to bounce back, that would be the Bengals. Because there's if you look
Give me
at
the Rams.
If you look at the one,
Give me some injuries.
If I had to
less
pick which
injuries.
one lost team is going to do better, I would take.
If
the
we
Rams.
could get our own line back, we could make some actual.
your
movement.
own line, your receivers.
O line, receivers.
Play
Just get your receivers back. Trust me, you'll be fine. You have Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford.
Well, I mean, Matt Stafford needs to be protected a little bit better, but
That's what Cooper Kupp and Puka will do for you.
that's true.
So they don't have
That's
to blitz you every play.
Sure.
But yeah, no, a lot of
That's
bad
crazy.
teams in the NFL. Next, we're going to talk about who the best team is.
Oh yeah.